We're gonna do it. We're just gonna. I think we're live here.
On Facebook now.
We're here, guys. This is Masterstream number 3. We're talking all about hustle and if it really matters. So, guys, if you are here and you're tuning in on the replay, just say hi. Let us know that you're catching this. And if you guys want all of the replays, just click the link in the description, and that'll hook you up with all the replays from the past master streams. But Eddie, Ashley, Hannah, Marshall, welcome. Thank you guys so much for taking the time to hang out today. I'm going to introduce everybody and kind of get you guys in here. And we're going to start with some of the newbies on the stream as well. And for me, I'm going to pull it up and see who's on the top here, because it's always different on my screen. So we're going to start at the top with Mr. Eddie Smith. And similar to a lot of people who show up on my radar, when I see someone who tries to do more live videos than me, my first reaction is, God, fuck this guy. Who does he think he is? And trying to out live me. And then the second thing was, I was like, damn, this guy's good. So maybe I should actually turn my notifications on and tune in sometimes. So what I love, I'm curious to kind of know your story, Eddie, and maybe you can share that a little bit. But Eddie is someone who has basically thrown away the corporate job and is now a full-time dad, a full-time Instagram hacker, a full-time digital marketer, and I just found out coaches people too. And you've kind of managed to create that in a very, very short period of time. So Eddie, thanks for taking the time today to hang out with us, man, and spit some knowledge on what you got going on.
Dude, I'm just appreciative to be on a, what is this called, the Masterstream?
We're calling it a Masterstream.
The view for entrepreneurs. I think that's what Ashley said.
Yeah, that's what it's gonna be. But so catch me and tell me your group, if I'm not mistaken, is called Hustle Nation. Is that right? So for you, hustle is obviously a big part of how you've gotten to be here and how you've gotten this far. Why and how did you decide to make hustle such a big part of your brand?
Really, I hate lazy people. If you're a lazy person, I'm not sorry. Get off your ass and quit being so lazy. The big thing for me is that the one secret weapon that I've had my entire life, whether it's athletics or business or working the corporate 9 to 5, is that I might not be smarter than you. I probably am, but I might not be. I might not be better looking than you. I might not have a better situation, but I will outwork you, out hustle you, and ultimately outlast you, outperform you, right? And so for me, the hustle, it's kind of like woo-woo taboo nowadays in the entrepreneur realm. A lot of people want to be lazy entrepreneurs, or they want to live that easy lifestyle. And it's cool, right? Like, I've made it to the point, I've worked so hard the last 12 months. I can take more breaks and travel and shit, but the hustle isn't just like it's a part of my life. It's part of who I am. And so that's where I kind of created this alter ego, the hustle junkie. And you could be addicted to sex, drugs, and rock and roll, but I'm addicted to the hustle, right? So it's just kind of something that growing up in the hood, it's become part of who I am.
Yeah. I'm sure that some of that will emerge in some of the discussion today. So thanks for just all of that. That's huge. Ashley, you have a different take on hustle, and you have a different take on you just have a different take. And you, I know we could sit here and spend a whole hour kind of sharing what you do, but you're a marketer gone talk show host, gone full-time napper, gone. I mean, you, what I really love about you is you're someone who has bucked kind of the system and said, you know what, I'm not going to wait for these other gatekeepers to let me start my own brand or create my own audience. You've actually gone out and done that in a very unique way. So you have a show. It's called Who's This? Who's That? Who's This?
Love that show.
And you talk to everybody, tons of amazing, unique, interesting people. I think both Eddie and I were guests, and yeah, tons of just unique people. There's always someone different on every week. So where does hustle play into your kind of realm, and how did you kind of catch us up a little bit on why Ashley chose that different route, which is probably, I don't know if there is another Ashley Sanders route out there.
There's not. I'm a secret hustler. I secretly hustle. It takes a lot of work to be this lazy, man. Like, it really does. You know, it's like I gotta factor in my naps, which are about 2 or 3 a day. Around working about 6 hours a day, which is stressful, you know. But realistically, it just came down to me just realizing that I can do whatever the fuck I want. Like, I'm only 25. I should be able to do what I want, and I'm gonna do what I want, and that's what I'm gonna fucking do. Like, who's gonna say otherwise? You know what I mean? And so, if I want to pivot into a talk show for that week, that's what I'm gonna do. If I want to pivot into becoming a soccer player, guess what? I'm gonna kick a fucking ball because that's the hustle life, man. You do what you want, and you make the money, so no one can tell you shut the fuck up.
I love it. We wouldn't be able to do. We were talking about this before we hopped on. Like, thank God for the internet, and thank God for Facebook Lives that it allows us to do crazy shit like this. And this is kind of work for us. So how interesting that kind of played out. So welcome. And then we have some veterans. And what's interesting, I had someone reach out to me, guys, and Marshall and Hannah. They reached out and they said, "So are you and Hannah and Marshall? Are you guys like doing this thing?" And I'm like, well, kinda. That's what it's turned into. They're always down for the cause, and they're someone who I believe our missions are all very aligned, but we're all very good at different things. And Marshall, recently has been someone who shut down a Facebook course, like shut down a group, like totally rehauled branding. So Marshall, you used to be about Facebook ads. You used to be about digital marketing, live branding. You showed people how to build a business with their phone. Now, and you were successful at it. You had tons of people, having great, just success from it. Now what would you say you're about, or now what do you do?
Dude, it's fucking crazy, man. Like, first off, Hector, thank you so much. 3 times in a row. Hannah, what's up? One of us is going to outlast each other, man. I think it's probably going to be me. But I'm going for number 4 next week. But yeah, man, it's crazy because I've never really stood up and claimed to be any expert or like specialist in anything. Quite to the contrary, when I started my brand last year in January, I was like, hey, yo, I have no experience, no money, no network. I have no idea what I'm doing. But I bet you that with this phone and social media that I can change my entire life. And I set out on a mission to do it. And what my number one goal has been is to always show up and live as authentically as I possibly can in front of the camera. Because it's fucking cool. Like, you can sit out here and talk about fucking hustle and like the nap life and stuff like that. That's cool. Like, to each their own. But the thing of it is everybody feels different. And I want people to know that they can show up and just be themselves, and it's enough, right? So that's what my mission has been about. I've been like, well, I'll just fucking live my life in front of you, all the mistakes, all the successes, all the mind changing, because that's the shit that real entrepreneurs are going through. Like, that mindset is that's the struggles, the limitations that we hold us back. And over the last year, I taught skill set. I was like, well, I have to teach the how. I have to teach how to do Instagram, how to get leads, how to, do video marketing. And I was teaching these skill sets step by step that were making me money, but people weren't getting as much results as often as I thought they should. So I had to take a step back and be like, what the fuck is the deal here? And what I learned is that no skill set matters until you have the mindset to get you there. And the mindset's actually the key. It's like, if there's a house of success, right? The key just to get in the door is the mindset and to own that. So I've lived very publicly over the last year, and it's been amazing. And I've been able to bring tons of people value because of that. And now I'm finally able to I'm ready to step up into my greatness and fucking dominate this coaching space as a mindset coach, which is super exciting for me. And I've had more success in the last month than I probably did all last year from just a point of impact and financial financial impact. So it's been a great journey. You've been here with me the entire time. So dude, like as a fucking friend, man, like, thank you, dude. It's been so great to learn and grow with you. So,
well, it's good because one thing that I was looking for is I'm not that, right? I was so scared of being this mind because I'm not the person. I remember when I used to have a team of salespeople, I'd try and finish the sales meeting and I'd try and give them like a raw message, and then what would happen? It'd be like crickets, and I'd be like, "Fuck, that didn't work." So I always am looking for people whose natural tendency and natural, a skill set is to motivate, which I think
that's all I'm good at. I suck at everything else besides motivating people. So I'm okay with that, dude.
I love it. Hannah, we're going to throw it to you and you're going to bring us home here. And I love your story. And it's so cool to see kind of the transition because we talked about it at the live event a couple, I guess that was almost a couple months ago. And we were talking about how like 2 years ago, we were both in a corporate kind of life, totally different lifestyle, involved, in a job that we were kind of, miserable in. And now I just saw you're booking tickets to China. Your Facebook group is on fire. I mean, I have clients of yours reaching out to me saying I'm on a mission and I've got this assignment from Hannah. And so it's so cool to see the impact that you're having and the transition that you've made in such a quick time. So you talk about Dream Life, right? Dream Life is real life. That's the name of your group. Where's hustle in that kind of whole thing? I'm curious.
Yeah. So my whole philosophy and what allowed me to step away from corporate life was building a business around my life. I think that it's like all consuming and like I have to, like, this is a phase of my life where I'm going to be hustling and building my business and then I'll live. But that's like the same box I was in, like in the corporate job. Like I'll work this job for 30 years and then I'll retire. And so, I ultimately took the leap when I figured out ways to like monetize my passions and take naps or go to China or be working with people that I love. And so it doesn't feel like work. And like, so really getting clear on, my and now my clients, dream negotiables. Like that is always where I start with like, what is going to inspire you every single day so that it's not about, it's not dream business is life business or, like it's really about, creating something that doesn't have to feel like a hustle. If you want to hustle it for 5 years and eat, breathe, and sleep it, that's awesome. Because I mean, I'm a go-getter. That's kind of what I've created. But we can do business simply like Marshall does from his phone, or it's like just a few people a month is all you need. So yeah, building a business model that doesn't feel like the hard hustle.
Yeah. Because it's funny, like I'm obsessive and I'm always working, like, and it's hard for me not, even when I'm on vacation, like I want to work. I want to get back to like building. I don't know. I think a lot of us have this idea of a legacy and an impact. And Hannah, I was on a call with someone you connected mutually with us, and we had like the same idol. We both like were not worshiping, but idolizing like Alexander the Great. And just like, it's just so funny that, what we're chasing, because oftentimes we end up working more hours than we would have at a corporate job,
Yeah. And it isn't really about the work or the tasks, right? It's about what you're saying. Yeah.
So I'm curious, a lot of you guys heard some stuff that's out there. Maybe you agreed with it. Maybe you didn't. What comes to mind? I'm always curious about the conversations that emerge. And if you guys happen to be tuning in, throw your questions down there. But I'm really curious about what you guys have to say about anybody else. So if someone else wants to jump in and share what kind of they were thinking as everyone else was sharing their ideals of hustle.
I love that everyone's successful in their own way, right? Like Marshall's been doing his thing. He pivoted a few times. Like Marshall, I fucking quit my job in May. I live streamed it on Instagram, right? And I was like, all right, like, what the fuck am I going to do? But then
no doubt, dude.
Anna, who's over here crushing it, she's like, all right, I hustled, but I want to enjoy life more. And then Ashley's just like the entertainment wizard. Like, Ashley, didn't you just get DL Hughley or whatever, right?
That's my boy. We're friends now, whatever. I try not to mention that ever.
Well, and isn't that's the beautiful thing about that? Hector and I talk about this. This is what is the beautiful thing, is like we do this with our friends. We go out to have fun. We talk about what we want to talk about. And yeah, I love that. Like, of course we all like make it look a little different, yet we have these like common beliefs, or we're inspired by similar things. So we were hanging out at noon on a Wednesday, like hopefully empowering others to figure out what it is they want to do at noon on a Wednesday for real.
It beats at work, dude. Like, I know a couple of my friends who probably think like, I wish Ashley would just get a fucking job already. Like, you know what I mean? They're just like, oh yeah, what are you doing? It's 3:00 in the afternoon. Like, you need to really think about your future and get a job. And I'm like, see, the difference between my future and your future is,
damn, girl,
you know where you're going to be in like 20 years. You're going to hate it. I might not know where I'll be in 20 years, but I know I'm going to fucking love it. So it's like, Eat a dick, society.
Don't you think that that's something that we all, like every entrepreneur or every person who kind of chases what they go after, even if you're like a crazy athlete and you really go after it, I mean, you're gonna push up against average. I mean, that's gonna push up against normalcy.
Dude.
Yeah, what is average?
Well, most people are average. You know what I mean? And the thing is that if I go outside there, the reason I don't like leaving my office, like go outside, and like everybody's average, like everybody's there. I'm like, oh God, you know, or at least my news feed, I can try and control it. You know, hopefully I try and control it on these master streams. But when you hustle, people get turned off by hustle.
It intimidates.
Depends on who you surround yourself with. I think I don't have anybody in my network that's intimidated by my hustle because I just don't have people in my network. Like everybody in my network is doing the same thing. That's why I'm on here with you guys. So like for me, like I'm so insulated from people who fucking talk bullshit and don't do stuff that I'm like, whatever, man.
Well, the challenge with that though is that most people aren't at that place, and so I think that's.
But anybody can get there. That's not a skill. That's not even a skill. Like you don't even have to be crushing, making fucking money or own a business.
Yeah, but you have to be willing to tell your mom, "Hey, shut up and let me do my."
Don't let your mom's house is what you got to do.
You got to do what you got to do, man.
Willing to tell your fucking mind to shut up because
exactly.
It's created to keep you alive and keep you safe. So sometimes alive is miserable. You might be miserable and hate your fucking life and hate your wife and hate your job, but your mind's keeping you alive. So as far as your mind's concerned, you're alive, you're breathing. You might go on like that for 40 years.
Ashley, did you just raise your hand?
Yeah, we got a comment that's pretty good.
Oh, yeah. Okay. All right,
yeah. I didn't.
I mean, partially it's people talking shit, not doing anything. But hey, what happened to the comments, man? What happened?
I like what you've done because you've really all right, so you and I have like been together since I started pretty much back in like April is when I started going live, I think March, April. And I used to be a moderator of your group, and we used to have those masterminds and stuff. But one of the things I remember when you're first starting out is that as much as you were hustling, you also get your thought leader on, which is one of my long-term goals. And you talk about things that are a lot more controversial than I talk about. I'm more about like get off your lazy ass, quit thinking like a fucking lame, whatever. But you talk about the stuff that other people don't want to talk about. I even got you kicked out of a group once.
Yeah, for sure. Can
I just jump in quick to like circle back to what Hector's talking about? And like, I totally agree with Marshall. Like, it is so possible to surround yourself and like make a network, especially online. I still have people in my network, although I feel really supported, that have known me from other phases of my life who are telling me, hey, you're really active on social media. You're the only person in my newsfeed. When will you ever be quiet? Do you have health care?
Yeah, I don't have any of that.
Yeah, and that's, I feel like I don't, it's a different mind game now, right? Like you guys are saying, you have to manage those stories and choose, which ones you want to respond to, which ones you want to react to. What has given me...
Marshall just doesn't have any friends.
You're the only one I have, Hector. I told you that, dude.
Oh, no, you guys are cute.
I keep my fence tall, my circle small, dude.
My circle small? Yeah, I love it. Sorry,
well, I just wanted, if there are other, people out there that have been sort of wrestling with those voices or those comments like I have, the most confidence that I've had is when I just like have a really clear business plan. And it's like, this is a strategy. I know I'm showing up for my ideal clients. I know I'm telling a story that resonates with some people. And like, if that's not you, like unfollow me or.
Well, let me play devil's advocate then. Which comes first, that inner game or that external game? Because I remember I started my first business when I was 17. And I remember like the act, like my friends, like I remember it happening when my friends were like, they stopped texting me and they stopped hanging out. And granted, they were just passing around a bong playing 2K. So it's not like I was missing out on anything like.
It's really fun to do that.
Yeah, but not 8 days a week, right? Like there's a time and place for everything. But the point is like, I remember they like stopped. But here's what I also found is that the important ones or the ones that mattered kept around. And I like now I have people that are in my, one of my what are they called? People in my wedding. I don't know. Groomsmen?
Groomsmen?
There you go. That's the thing. I'm getting married next week. You think I should know what they're called?
Oh shit, are you? Congratulations.
But he's still around, you know, and it's like, there we would go months without talking because I was hustling and I was grinding and I was doing my thing, and he understood that. And so when we got back together, like he was still there. So I'm gonna pose the question again though, like what's first though? Is it that inner game or that external game that you have to figure out first before your environment can kind of transform?
It's
Inner.
I had to cut off the safety net.
Mm-hmm.
I knew that I could.
So for you, it was external. You're saying you had to like.
I don't know. I've always wanted to be an entrepreneur. I watched Pretty Woman, and I fucking Richard Gere on there. I was like, I want to be that person that buys their business.
Literally thought you were talking about the prostitute. Literally, that's who I thought you were talking about.
Maybe
hustle.
But I always wanted to do that, and then internally, I knew I could do it, but I would listen to, I guess, other people tell me to live a normal life. It wasn't until I said, all right, I'm cutting off the safety net, that I was like, oh shit, I got to make some money.
Yeah. I think there was something internal, and Marshall, please expand. There was something internal for you to cut that net. And like for me, I had to have the internal game started to start putting myself out there. And then, you know, so yeah. So I had to do internal before external. Yeah.
That's the thing though, is it all comes down to internal game, because it's like, okay, even if you want to make that external change, you still have to take an action to do that. And in order to get any action, it comes down to making a decision. And that's like legitimately, like that's the whole power. Like that's the fucking secret to being alive, is that you have the power of decision. And so people are like, oh, well, I don't really want to make decisions. Well, that's fine. Then you're making a decision to not be better or to not learn or to not grow. Like it's all inner game. So whether people want to focus on it or not, it doesn't matter. It all starts up here. Every single thing that comes into real life manifests from the mind first. So when you make that decision to X people out of your life, it starts internally. But I think so many people get overwhelmed because they live externally and they focus on, oh, I need to get money, or I need to start a business, or I need to get rid of these friends. But in the whole time, they should probably just look inside and be like, okay, what in life am I willing to accept, and what am I willing not to accept? That's like the first place that I would start. And everything that you're not willing to accept, you just fucking cut out and you stop doing that.
The pain of being the same has to outweigh the pain of growing.
I think there's also the whole get over yourself thing too. Like we all, I don't know, for me, when I first started, I think one of the hardest things was obviously me just telling me like, it's okay to be you. And, you know, people are going to fucking like you. And I'm super likable. And I don't know why I ever had this doubt in my mind, but like, you see, because you know what, you see people doing it wrong so much that when you start to do it, you're like, fuck, I don't want to be this person. I don't want to be the asshole. It's like, you know, get free webinars and I'll make you $1 million. And you're like, and you don't want to be that spammy dick. And then you realize like, holy shit, there's a way I can do this and not be a spammy dick. And then the people who don't realize that you're doing it the right way see you as a spammy dick and they rid themselves of you. But yeah, like you said, dude, my main friends, I swear to God, I can pivot like in 6 months. I swear to God, I'm going to become a snake charmer. And I'm going to do it probably. And all my real friends will be like, let's go to India. Let's get you one of those turbans. Like, that's how it works, bro. You got ride or dies and you got high school homies. And like the high school 100%. Homies are gone now, dude. Like,
Hector, how many times have you seen me pivot over the last year, Hector? Like 17 probably?
Bi-weekly?
Yeah, 100%. And the thing of it is when you build a culture around authenticity and showing up, like you can pivot as many times as you want and they'll follow you, man.
Well, the crazy thing is like Marshall's like, I'm shutting down a group and people are like, where are we going? where are we? Like, I'm like, all right.
That did happen.
I'm coming with, like, you know, so I think that's also the benefit of like a personal brand. But actually that's huge. You brought up such a big thing about like, is someone going to like me? And I had every reason to like not, you know, grew up in a decent household. Parents loved me, was pretty good at sports. You know, girls didn't think I was repulsive. Like I was like, not, you know, what did 12-year-old Hector really have to worry about? And I'm like, oh, I suck. Like, is anybody ever going to accept me as a person? Like, you know, and so I'm like searching for all this validation. And I think that when you ultimately like stop searching is when it happens, is this kind of unfortunate side of it, you know?
That's when your algorithm changes.
Yeah, no doubt, dude.
I went like on a rebellion and I quit shaving. I quit cutting my hair. I looked like a fucking out of Call of the Wild, right? And I was just straight up pushing the limits, the boundaries of life to see like how far I could take it because I just did not want to live part of the machine. And then I got detained in London, and one, getting judged profile sucks, but two, I remembered like, you know what? Like, I don't have to rebel anymore. I don't have to push back against the system and like push limits. Do I love being wild? Like, yeah, I'm from the Pacific Northwest. We grew up riding horses and hunting in the mountains, but you know, I love being clean cut just as much. Getting detained played a large part in that. It sucked dick for 2 hours.
That's not funny at all.
I show up in the Gatwick airport. I've got 4 phones, you know, I got 4 phones, a laptop, and I got long hair and this huge beard. You know, they're like,
hair, dude, because he looked like a fucking terror. They were like, "Come here, sir. You have all these electronics. Get over here, dude. Are you kidding?"
But,
and then Eddie was like, "Fuck this. I'm cutting my hair." It's hilarious.
Yeah, exactly. But one thing,
you look straight out of the 10 Commandments movie. Now that we can talk about it.
I was just pushing the limits because I wanted to feel free and comfortable.
I feel you though on that, though. Yeah. Seriously,
you know? And then it became this thing. I was like, oh shit, what if I, you know, like March was talking about pivoting. If I shave, I just told all these people I wasn't going to shave, and I was rebelling so hard. But then I reached this point, and I was like, fuck it, I don't need this anymore. I'm comfortable in my own skin, and I know I don't have to prove anything to anyone. Right on. So if I do that and I change, is my audience, is my brand gonna damage from it? And then I just decided, fuck it. The people that really want to ride with me are going to ride with me, and the people that are like, oh, I liked you because you were different, you know, like, sorry to say, but like, fuck you guys, because you never were really listening or paying attention to what the message was. You were just focusing on what entertains you.
We're not actually that different. Like, we all have the same desires. We just have different ways of living them out. You know what I mean? You may want to do it by fucking being a secretary your whole life, and that's great for you, but you know. What
was your reason for rebelling? I had been told that I couldn't be successful without getting a haircut every week, which I like getting haircuts, but I didn't like being told that I had to do that. I was told that I couldn't be successful with a beard, that I couldn't be successful cussing, that I needed to wear all brand new clothes and dress proper and to the T's. And the people that were telling me this, one, have never tried to make money online. 2, live miserable lives, and 3, like they're not me, right? And so I was like, all right, watch me do it. You're gonna tell me I can't do it? Watch me do it.
Wait, I've been wearing a panda hat for the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, dude, you're never gonna go anywhere in life.
Well, so maybe I think this comes back to the whole topic, like this hustle thing, and like what Marshall's saying, and everyone is iterating in their own way. It's like the hustle is about figuring out you and like what it is that spark that you want to share with the world, and like then it doesn't matter who's paid or what you wear or like what your offer is. It's about you, your personal brand, your authenticity, and the hustle is really taking care of that and getting clear and showing up.
Yeah, someone said, the same lady, Shannon, said, were you successful when you rebelled? Was I successful when I rebelled? I could successfully massively scale Instagram accounts. I had a few people that paid me to do that. I had a fucking job working at Clear Channel selling billboards, you know, making $65,000, $70,000 per year salary plus commission.
Yeah, but you were miserable, so no.
Like, what is success?
Like, is that what you call success? Like, was I successful in terms of like LinkedIn and corporate world? Yeah, day I quit, I got offered a 6-figure job that I turned down, but I wasn't happy, and so that wasn't enough for me.
I like, can we go back to Jeremy's comment real quick that says, I'm not interested in the opinion of anyone who doesn't like Ashley. That's kind of following I need in my life. Thank you, Jeremy. That was beautiful.
But I think like that's what it's about, is about now the internet allows us to be as weird and as dorky and as nerdy and as whatever as we are. And if we're willing to get over ourselves enough to put it out there, well, now there's that Marianne Williamson quote, right? Which I love. It's like our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. It's that we are powerful beyond measure. And the next part of it though is that by I don't know, I'm going to screw it up. I mean, she's actually here in my hood in LA. I need to go hang out with her. But she says by shining our light, we actually allow other people to shine their lights. And that I think is a lot of what a lot of people miss in this internal game is like, yes, but then get over yourself and stop being the hindrance of it. Which is,
you are awesome.
Yeah.
All of us are. Everybody.
Just because I don't like you doesn't mean you're not awesome. That's one of the things is like, just because everyone doesn't like you doesn't mean you aren't awesome. There are plenty of people who I am absolutely repulsed by. That people live their lives, you know, vicariously by their words and shit. So like,
you can't worry about what other people think. You can't. Like for example, it's like, you know, Eddie and I, we met earlier in the year, but then Eddie, I think you literally just unblocked me from Facebook.
Yeah, I was just saying
from this live stream. So it's like, even though that you don't like me, like I'm still willing to get onto this live stream and like, you know, like chop it up with everybody, because I'm like, well, dude, it's funny this guy shows up in my fucking feed again after he blocked me for almost a year. But that's the thing, like I don't care if Eddie doesn't like me, because I'm still here to like give value. When you can show up authentically as your guys' self like that, like Precious asked, like, how do you start? Like, you just start. Like, it doesn't matter what the fuck people think about you. Not everybody's gonna like you. Not everybody's gonna understand you, and that's okay. Like, that's completely okay, because what do they say? 80% of people won't like you, but 20% of people will make you rich and famous. So if there's anything you guys take from this,
when I blocked you, that was like at the beginning, and my mindset was all fucked, because I'm over here, you know, you're trying to like fucking pave your way and shit. People piss you off. I get, you know, when I watches my videos, I get aggravated. I get, I'm abrasive.
Yeah, for sure.
And
well, I think you both are. I think
100%.
I think you both are in the very same lane, and you know are very very similar people, right? Knowing both of you guys, like if you guys I'm sure hung out, would be like, fuck, like
no, but this is an example. Like you just can't worry about that stuff. You know what I mean? Like I could have like been like, oh, what the fuck, and reached out and been like, oh, I'm not getting on this live stream, but like it just doesn't matter. Like that's the key to mastering the inner game, is like this is not about me and Eddie. This is about like just about in general. Like this is like an analogy to life. Like it doesn't matter if you guys know who you are on the inside and what it is that you want to accomplish in life, and you have a purpose and you're goal driven on a mission. Like I'm on a mission to save 1 million lives who save 1 million lives. Like if you're in your lane, dude, it doesn't even matter who fucking comes at you. Some people will join you and they'll hop on. Some people won't. Some people will come back. Some people will be there and leave. Like you just got to keep moving forward with what you're dreaming about.
Yeah, exactly. And when I had unblocked Marshall, I was like, why did I block him in the first place? Because you join in a messenger, it's like someone you blocked is in this messaging thing. I'm like, the fuck? Like, I have to see who I blocked. Like, oh, Marshall.
I had no idea.
Why did I block him? And I don't even dislike Marshall. I think at the time I was just pissed off.
I was concerned we were going to go from the like millennial view into the Jerry Springer.
Yeah, I was like, oh shit, did I hit a nerve here? I was like, oh god. Like,
I want to circle, just like the question. Yeah, well, the question you get started, and I'm hearing these same pieces from everyone. In that, like, get clear on your why, your authenticity, like what it is you really want to do in the world, and like talk about, or the problems you want to solve, and then go help other people that are aligned with you, right? Like Hector is like lining up these Marianne Williamson quotes, like first be awesome, be okay with that, and then go shine so that other people can too. And at that point, like, because I feel like it was a little contradictory. Like, yeah, like your hustle is about like being yourself, but it's not about you. So I just wanted to clear that up. Like start out with like your mission, like, and then.
And Hannah's the best to follow for this, because like you this is what you do, Hannah, is you teach people how to start, like how to take that passion and live your dream life. Like I think anybody that's watching that wants to go in depth in that, like just follow what Hannah does. Like that group that you have is amazing. Oh wait, what is today? Oh, are we doing a call tomorrow?
Tomorrow, I'm calling you.
Okay. Okay. I was like, wait, is that today? Never mind. Sorry.
Marshall needs an assistant. Is what he needs.
Dude, I need an assistant so bad, bro. I just
best thing that ever happened in my life.
You got to do the Google Calendar. Hector, you put me on that.
Yeah?
Yeah. I asked you what calendar you were using way back when I started, and you were like, Google Calendar, man. And now every day I wake up, I have everything ran through my calendar. I check my Google Calendar, and if you're not on that calendar, I might not talk to you that day, no matter how bad you want to talk to
what.
I've had my business partner be like, yo, you need to like let me know before you just call me. Like, I think Russ has a line in his song. He talks about like FaceTiming without an appointment. Like, you better be crazy. I'm like, Yeah,
dude.
That's how I feel, especially go ahead.
Did you see the JP Sears video that he just did on that about the etiquette of like, it's so funny. Like he does like how dare you call without texting me? Like, it's so funny and so true.
It's real.
It's so funny.
JP
Sears, that long-haired redheaded guy who does all the funny like yoga, spiritual, entrepreneur videos.
Bro. That's thing, right? Yeah, that shit's awesome. I do it all the time.
Plus, I hate talking on the phone. Heck, I'm with you. I don't want to talk to a bunch of people. Like, I want to stand on the stage and talk to like thousands of people, but like one-on-one and stuff is just like, it's tough for me, dude.
Well, it's both, right? I think you have to pull at both ends. And I think for me though, it's like, it's efficiency, right? So when I see like, and it's my own limitations. And I find that when I get anxious or something, or when I start not liking something, that means that I need to create a new business system so that can happen. Because it's like, it's not that doesn't need to happen. It's not that I need to stop responding to my business partner. It's like, we need to create a better system so that it doesn't frustrate me when, right? Like, and he's probably watching this right now. Like when we're communicating, right? Because I'm in my hustle, I'm in my zone. So even it's like just distractions, no matter, even my dad calls, I'm like, fuck, what are you calling about?
I swear down a parent's gonna call.
Eddie, bring us to the questions.
Yeah.
All right, and then answer whichever ones you want. All right, KG.
Well, let's start with a good one. Pick a good one. You got.
I think this is a good one. Where do each of you see yourself in 5 years? Where is your hustle going? How do you each view success?
Ooh, anyone got want to jump in?
Oh, Dick fits in well, Appleseed. That's what
Go ahead, Hannah. What do you think?
Oh man, I was totally teasing. That's a huge question.
So you over yourself in the beginning. I mean, they're all kind of the same.
I'll share my thoughts on that, because I think that like you should only look as far out as you can see, because if you start worrying about what's beyond that, then a lot of times you stop. And so it's like
I just agree with that.
well that's fair, and that's fine, right? Because I also know that like Marshall, at the end of the day, I'm chasing like one day I want to be like Magic Johnson. I want to have a statue in gold outside the Staples Center. Like I also know that I'm chasing that, but I'm like I don't know how exactly that's gonna happen right now, but I do know I've got these things that are gonna get me on the path there. So if I put my head down and focus on these things. And one thing that I learned recently is that at each point, one thing, they were talking about manifesting things and how do you, create this abundance. And it was super woo-woo. But essentially what they said to get there was as each point along the way to keep building your vision. So it's like, okay, that I've thought about it and I'm moving towards it. It's crystallizing and I can see it. Okay, let me renew my vision. And it's like, it's that idea of being out on a boat. Like if I'm out on a boat and I'm trying to travel to something 50 miles away, I'm not going to see it yet. But if I just keep moving in that direction and I set a point, okay, there's a bird right there that's 4 miles away. Let me hit that bird. Okay, now where's the net? And it's like eventually the coast will come into vision. And that's that's kind of how I see it. I think you need both for sure.
Yeah, the thing of it is like, this is one of the things I teach in my signature program, the Unstoppable Mindset, but it's like a plane, right? When a plane takes off from LA, it knows that it's heading to New York, but a plane has to readjust up to 3% the entire time that it's going through the air just to hit its target on point. So the fact that you think like, oh, well, I shouldn't set goals for so what I do is I teach people to set someday goals, 5-year goals, 1-year goals, monthly goals, weekly goals, daily goals. And on one hand, you're right. You're like, well, fuck, what if something changes? You're absolutely right. But without a target, how do you know where you're going? Mm-hmm. And your life is going to evolve day to day, week to week, month to month. Yep. And those goals, that's why sitting down and reassessing your goals, not fucking on your New Year's resolution. I do my goals every fucking day, every week. Like, you want to know where my 5 years goals are? I'll tell you exactly where I plan on being from right now up today in 5 years. And that's the whole importance of mindset. It's the inner game we talked about. So many entrepreneurs are like, oh, time management or balancing my time or all this stuff is so hard, but it's not hard. It comes to sitting down and doing the work and setting up that roadmap, because it's like Eddie. I bet Eddie has his whole fucking shit set up. It's not by exactly. It's not by mistake that Eddie's having so much success. Like, that's not a mistake. It's because it's mapped out, and every day he meets his goal. Then he gets detained. He's like, oh, fucking repivot, recalculate, and still crushing it. So, like, I have to say, I think goal setting for 5 years and beyond is major, major important.
It is. You gotta be consistent.
Yeah, I don't know. So I used people like, where do you want to be in 5 years? I was like, happy? Like, I don't know. Like, I'm not here. And what I realized in the past year or so is that, like, my 5-year, 10-year goals are like, check, check, check. And so for me, it's almost limiting that to think of, like, where do I want to be in 5 years? It's like, I'm limitless. Like, I can't tell you, like, because like these daily consistent things do build up really quickly when you're like mindful and consistent and on purpose. So the 5-year question is like, ask me then. Like, and again, my answer will be like happy and free and generous. Like, I think the how is hard to answer.
I think that that's another thing is, like, both you and I, Hannah, are afraid to like lock into like a particular thing because we know how whimsical we are with our things, and we're like, I want to do this with my life now. And so I think that there's both, right? And Marshall, as you're talking about, I'm like, you're 100% right. And if you were to ask me, do I right now, if I had to draw out and write out on a paper what my current 5-year vision is as it is right now, I probably could do it. But what I would encourage people to do is, like you said, to readjust every single day and to be willing to reset those so often.
You have to. For me, my end goal is the same, right? I'm going to win a Nobel Peace Prize. You're talking about the woo-woo stuff, manifestation. Really try to be careful about the words that I use, right? Like, I'm going to win a Nobel Peace Prize. I want to help solve homelessness. I've been homeless before, so it sucks. I have these in-life legacy goals. And so I'm big about ABC deduction. I'm a red personality type. I'm an ISTJ. Like, I'm real into, like,
you're like this, right?
Yes.
You're like, shit, my pencils are not aligned. Hold on.
Yeah.
Like,
I gotta break it down. That's crazy messy that I am, like, in terms of my lives and how I handle business sometimes in terms of, like, personal relationships. When it comes to getting shit done, it's A, B, C, D. I've got my Z destination, and like Marshall was saying, I fucking break it down to what I need to do each and every day. Right. So when I started out 2 years ago, I said, all right, I need to become an expert at something so that I can have a voice and people will respect me and listen to me. What can I become an expert at? I know I'm a sales and marketing expert because of my job history, but nobody cares about that. What do they care about? They care about Instagram. All right, let me fucking master Instagram and get this voice. And then once I master that, I'm going to use that voice and that platform to let people know, hey, I'm a fucking sales and marketing expert. I'm not just going to get you the Instagram. I'm going to fucking take you to the next level. Right. And then each time you get to that next step, you just start looking only at that next step, because you can look 5 years and know where you're at, right? Like, I've got my 5-year, 10-year plans in here, and I reassess them and I set them as intentions like they already happened. But I'm focusing my time, my effort, and my desires into what I need to get done next. That's going to take me to that next platform. And it sounds like Marshall does the same. I know Ashley does it. I know Hector does it.
Yeah, I have life goals. I don't really have like 5-10s or anything like that. It's more like, all right, so I want to do this with my life. I want to do this with my life, and I want to do this.
But you know what you need to get to that next step.
And I kind of just do that. Like, just do what I want. I don't know. This is weird.
This is something I want to bring up. I see he amen limitless, and I just want to touch on this real quick again, because I everybody different strokes for different folks, but as it applies to what Hannah said about limitless, like, looking at, you guys have got to understand the difference between vision and goals. A vision is what you're trying to accomplish overall. Goals are just metrics to measure how quickly you're attaining or getting closer to accomplishing your vision. So when you look at goals and you go, oh, I don't want to limit myself because I've already checked off all of my things, like, fuck, that's awesome. That means that you've reached your measuring stick quicker. So that's why setting goals is so more important. So I can't, this guy like, oh, limitless, like, fuck yeah, like, setting goals is not setting limits. It's how you measure yourself. And if you can't measure and know where you're going, then to me, it's hard. Like, why leave success to chance?
Well, I think, and I think there's this, like, when people think about goals, like, there's this inherent thing that when people hit the goal, like, they think that that's the destination, and it's like no, that's like one step along the way, right?
Yeah.
Like, and it's like I remember it being early in the sales. It was always like, all right, hit your goal, and then at the end there was this magic pot of gold,
Right,
or like
right.
whatever it was, and then you get there, and if you hit it, you're like, well, fuck, where's all the happiness? Like,
Right.
like
Yeah.
wait a minute, you
That's
said there was
exactly
happiness
right.
when I hit the goal, and they're like, well, no, there's another. We just gotta sell more, and you're like, you know, so it's realizing that, okay, ultimately what the answer becomes, like being able to appreciate the journey and being able to appreciate like every moment, you know, and like being able to take the wins and the losses, and like when you're able to appreciate that, when you can appreciate the practices more than the games, like that's when I think, you know, things.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There are moments my phone was fucking cut off like for a month. And I'm over here hustling, you know, paying, you know, get my daughter in daycare, or paying for gas or insurance, you know, like getting my most important shit paid. And I'm like, I'm not going to quit. Right. And would I trade those tough moments to like not have them? Hell no. I would do it all over again.
No.
Because now I'm experiencing the most success in my life. I'm experiencing like the greatest times of my life because of that struggle and not giving up, and I appreciate it. It's
getting your lunch too, bro.
Yeah,
we all go through that shit, and that's the thing. Like, everyone has their own personal hell that they lived in, you know, when you first begin, and that's one of the things I think a lot of the ones who are just starting, they don't realize. Like, we already know this shit sucks. We get it. Like, we were where you were. Oh, you know, and here's the thing. The reason that we position ourselves in the way to teach you how to do it is because we don't want you to go through it either. Like, that shit, you know, it's as much as I can talk about my story and all the horrible things and all the, you know, the days where I'm like, shit, I don't know where my next dollar's coming from. If I can prevent one person from having to think about that, you know what I'm saying? Like, hello. So instead of, you know, trying to argue with us and trying to give us this whole crazy opinion, like, shut the fuck up and listen. Because let me tell you, it's not as much as we love it and we love our story, it's not fun. It's not fun to be broke. Like, that shit ain't fun. Let's be honest.
Well, it's not. It's also not fun to be unhappy either. So it's like, it's not going to get worse than it is right now. Like, it might get different, but like, it's not going to get worse than you being miserable.
Right.
You know.
I think that's the thing that so many people don't realize is that, like, that's the power of social media and being able to share your story. Because when you can learn how to share your story, you start to understand that really in life, your biggest mess is your biggest message. And when you can start to understand that the objections that are the obstacles and challenges that you've overcome in life, that's a story. And that story about your mess becomes your message. And that's how you can show up in life. Like Eddie's story about where he came from, and Ashley about, you know, going, like, I have those stories too. Like, that's the thing. People who are successful at making impact in life just figured out how to take those terrible things in our life, how to use it for motivation. And it's like Ashley just said it perfect, man. Like, yeah, is it great that this is my job and I make money doing what I'm good at? Yeah, that's great. But that's not why I get out of bed. I get out of bed because I remember what it's like to be 16 years old, sitting on the fucking corner of a bed, not hating my life, not having any hope, no skills, nothing. Yes. And I'm like, dude, if I can just if one person never has to go through that because I came in contact with them, then fuck, it's awesome. And I think that's so funny, Ashley.
And it seems like people almost want that story. Like, bro, why the fuck do you want, you know, and it's like, you know, everybody loves a good comeback story, and that's great and that's cool. But why would you want to be a comeback story when you could just be a success your whole entire life? Like, why 100%. The fuck would you want to do that?
It's like my dad used to say, I fucked up so you didn't have to, son.
Right.
You know? Like,
although it is pretty cool, this is our job, though. I mean, let's not lie. I'm having fun.
Oh god, this is awesome.
I do enjoy it.
It's real life or what?
Awesome. Oh my goodness. Quickly, go ahead, Marshall.
Well, no, I was just gonna say, Ashley's talking about fucking 6-hour work days. I was like, damn, 6 hours. How do you put that much time in?
Bro, being a brand 24/7 is a full-time fucking job. Like
100%.
I know, but being Ashley 24/7, man, I gotta constantly be Ashley, and Ashley's exhausting, bro.
Yeah, recharge.
Yeah, I do. I take naps, dude.
I love that shit.
Sorry,
Hector.
No, this is great, guys. This is exactly what I wanted. I'm speechless.
It's probably the panda hat.
You gonna cry?
After we get off, not live. I do want to bring us home though, as we're coming up here on the hour mark. It looks like there was some last questions. Basically, Dick Fitzenwell Appleseed. Is that a real name? Is that a real person?
Come on, it's not a real name. Dick Fitzenwell. I
can't believe someone took the time. I took the time to actually.
I gotta.
Anyways, I'm not even gonna honor that question then. Anyways,
why? He has some good ones.
He has a good question. And he said, "How long have you been doing this?" So what I would like to get us out of here with is, if they want to let us know how long you've been doing this.
Dick,
you know what? Better yet, better yet, save that answer. Give us where they can find you guys if they want to learn more or follow you guys or get involved in what all of you guys do.
Oh snap!
As well, Hannah, can you share if they want to get involved with the Dream Life is where they can go?
Yes, most definitely. So the easiest way is to just Facebook search Dream Life is Real Life. My Facebook group starts with that, and online coaches, bloggers, and millennial entrepreneurs. And yeah, the Facebook group is thriving. We've got an interview coming up this afternoon, and really the whole focus is like, how do you take your ideas and like that looks cool into reality and creating income and impact that you can do if you want to take a nap or if you want to be live all the time, whatever. So Dream Life is Real Life.
Hannah's group is awesome. Join Hannah's group. It's awesome.
Marshall, what about you? Where do they go now?
So you guys, look, I'm so serious about mindset and really starting this inner game. And I don't care if you're just beginning, if you're struggling to find leads and make money, or if you're thriving and you want to know how to take it to that next level. I want to offer you something valuable. And it's really just a roadmap. We talked about this. So what I have now is a mindset assessment. Actually, it's called a mindset checkup. And what we do is we run you through a series of questions. We give you a mindset checkup. That way we know exactly where you're at right now, and then map out how you can get to where you want to go. And if you guys are interested in doing the mindset checkup, you guys can visit my name, marshallgillen.live, and register for a free 30-minute call. I'll hop on in with there. We'll do a success action plan. We'll map out your mindset, give you a little checkup and see how the diagnostics are running and go from there. So marshallgillen.live, let's hop on a call. Let's talk mindset.
I love it. Ashley, what about you?
Yeah, I'm not going to teach shit because we got people right here who are going to teach you. But you can easily ask me any questions. My Facebook's always open. Ashley Sanders, look like a pirate. Mainly though, yeah.
Like a Pittsburgh pirate.
Mainly, yeah, my show, Who's This? You can find that on facebook.com/who'sthiss12. And basically all I do is, like I said, if you got questions, hit me up. I'll answer your questions. You don't have to schedule with me because I'm not that important. I'm like these people. I'm here. No, but seriously, it takes me about a day to get back to people. And yeah, just ask me anything you want. And then if you want to be on the show, you can be on the show. As long as you have something interesting to bring to the table, because I'll tell you you're boring straight to your face. I don't like
to Have you done that? Have you done it?
Yeah, I do. I had to shut one interview down one time. I said, dude,
is it still up?
You're full of shit.
Is it still up?
No, it was
fuck, I want to see it.
No, I would never do that live.
Yeah, that'd be a great show.
Yeah, no, if it was live though, I'd just be like, damn, dude, I totally overscheduled.
Next.
So I gotta go. So if you ever hear me say that,
is it Who's This Live? Is that your page?
Who's This Live? That is it.
Okay, great. Eddie, bring us home.
First off, shout out to you, Marshall. I have no beef with you, so happy that we could resolve that shit on this live.
Hell yeah, dude.
As for me, just join the Hustle Nation. It's a bunch of dope people doing dope things, supporting each other. This is what the logo looks like right here. You just search Hustle Nation in your search bar. Seriously, do it. And I host free webinars in there. I obviously do one-on-one coaching and programs and whatnot. So
can you show me the logo one more time?
Huh?
Can you show me the logo one more time? Yeah, I got it.
I could just see it.
You can find all the information on how to work with me personally inside the Hustle Nation. We're about to have a free webinar once we hit 1,000 members on how to drive traffic that converts. I do these free webinars here and there. I've done 3 so far already. This could be the 4th one. And, it's just dope ass people supporting each other.
I love it. All you guys.
Go
Go ahead.
When your face goes down, when you're looking and writing it, you can literally just see your panda. Like it's a fucking panda on the screen. It's so funny, dude. Like you put it like that. Boom. I'm like, oh, what's up? Panda.
I just think that I thank you guys so much for dealing with nonsense for an hour and hanging out
I love
with me and bringing some value to these people. So guys, I would encourage all of you guys to go hang out with these folks more. And I don't know. I'm so grateful that
I would too.
spend the time with me. So guys, go get your own hustle on, and we'll see you on next week's Masterstream.
Peace out, everybody.
Later, guys.
Hey, Hector, are you still around?